Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Medea J, and today's video is all about Arabella hair. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my units, and the hair that I have from Arabella hair is natural wavy hair. It's Brazilian. It comes in this gorgeous little box. You get a stocking cap, two pieces in the stocking cap, a pair of lashes, and the hair. And I have 3 bundles of hair and a closure. Bundles of hair I have two 24-inch and one 22-inch hair and a 20-inch closure. And I'm just showing you guys what the hair looks like. The curls of the hair are quite tight, so you will need to either brush it out or take it apart with your hands, which I'll show you guys later on in the video as to how I get the volume. But I really love how soft the hair is. I love the bounce, and the hair itself is really tightly packed. The closure itself is a center part closure, but you can part it anywhere you like. It's a decent amount of hair. It's not too full, but it's good enough. So I'm going to start off my hair by using this do-it-yourself wig cap. You can get it from Amazon. And I am placing my closure on top of my wig cap. Now this wig stand is 24 inches, which is exactly my head size. So I would recommend that you definitely measure your head and make sure that you pull the cap down on the wig stand or on whatever base that you're making your hair with. And now for the closure, I'm just securing them with T-pins, and I'm going to go ahead and start sewing it with my black thread and needle. And basically I'm just showing you guys how I go about sewing my hair. So I'm going through the frontal itself, going through the hair. So I'm going through the frontal and I'm going through the wig cap, and I'm coming up and doing a loop. So basically it's through the frontal, through the wig cap, through the thread in a loop. And I do that for the entire frontal. I keep saying frontal. I do that for the entire closure. And normally I start from the middle of the closure, work my way to the left, then go back and then work my way to the right. That way it feels more secure and steady. So I'm just showing you guys how I just go about sewing it, again with the looping motion. And it's the same technique that you're going to use for the entire hair. So I got this technique from, I think, Miss Rosh Posh or somebody else on YouTube, where basically you just use a marker, crayon. In this case, I'm using my son's crayon, and I'm marking out where I actually want to sew the hair. I'm doing this because I tend to use 4 bundles of hair. So using 3 bundles of hair just means that I have to make the good decisions about the hair. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use T-pins to actually secure the hair in place, just so that I can go about sewing the hair freely without worrying about the hair falling down while I'm trying to sew. Now I want the bottom part of the hair to be heavier than the top. I want the top to be quite flat. So in that instance, I am doubling up the tracks of the bottom of the hair. And I'm using the same technique where I'm going through the wig cap, going underneath the tracks and looping through the thread. And I'm not piercing the tracks. It's very important not to pierce the tracks all the time because it just ruins the integrity of the hair. I'm going to go ahead and pierce the tracks probably when I finish the hair or at junctions where I'm folding over, because that's another thing. I don't cut my tracks. Instead, I loop over and I carry on sewing. And this technique is really good should you decide to take the hair off the cap for some reason, or if you want to change the cap. It just means that you don't have to cut millions of thread. So here I'm just showing you guys how I loop through, and this is the only time that I sew through the tracks because obviously you want to make it really secure at junctions. So I really use the T-pins to hold the hair in place while I sew the fold over, and the needle itself, I'll pass it through the actual tracks, loop through and tighten it that way. So this is basically, you can see how the lines are coming into play and are really showing me where I need to place the hair. So yeah, that's how I just finished the edge of the hair. You can see that it's flat, it's not bulky or anything, which is it's brilliant for me. And then I'll just carry on sewing the hair, and that's where the T-pins are really useful because my hands are free. I can really loop through and not worry. And you really want to take your time with this. Before it used to take me like 4 hours to do hair, but now I could probably finish a unit in about 2 to 3 hours. That's if I'm not distracted watching telly, but you will find your rhythm and your technique. So this is just me showing you guys going through the actual weft of the hair at junctions and just securing it. And that's the only time I go through the weft of the hair. Every other time is underneath, loop through and tighten. Underneath, loop through the thread and tighten. And your rhythm will really come. Now, I don't normally pull my hair all the way to the edge of the cap because it really hurts the edge of my head when there's hair at the edge of the cap. So I tend to not bring it down as low, and I don't really need to because I don't pack my hair up in a bun or anything. So it's quite comfortable for me. And then working my way towards the top, I start using one roll of hair as opposed to doubling up. And you guys can see how flat the top of the hair is. I'm just letting out the closure, and I'm going to start brushing that. So the closure comes with a center part already. Obviously, you can part wherever you want, and you can see how beautiful the curls of the hair is without actually taking out the curls or brushing it or anything. This is basically how it looks. And so the next thing that you want to do is you want to cut the extra lace from the closure. Be careful not to cut any baby hairs or anything like that. So just be really, really gentle and don't rush this, and just gently cut. And yeah. And obviously once you've cut this, you want to make sure that the color of the lace matches your head skin tone. You could go ahead and bleach your knots if you're really into that. I don't tend to bleach my knots or anything. So I'm just combing over the hair and just making sure that it's flattened in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the little brush and brush it out. I really love teaser brushes like this because it doesn't pull on the hair and it gently brushes out the hair. Next thing you want to do now is you want to cut the extra cap on the inside of the cap itself, the part where the lace will be exposed. So again, you want to take your time with this. You can go ahead and stitch the inside if you want, but it hurts my head when the knots and everything, so I don't bother doing that anymore. Instead, now I'm just going to go ahead with my foundation powder and actually cover the lace itself. And I'm really going to be generous with this because I really want it to be my skin tone. And now I'm going in with concealer, just to mask the center part and make sure that it matches my skin tone. And yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. Next thing is to make sure all the flyaways are gone. So I'm using this bed head and I'm using the tiniest bit because this product can actually weigh down hair quite a bit. So I tend to use only the smallest amount, and it's just for the top, just to ensure that all flyaways are taken care of. And you just want to make sure that everything is brushed, all tracks are covered, and yeah, it's basically that. And now I'm going to go ahead and start separating the curls. You can probably use a brush to do this, but I found that doing it with my hands just made sure that every part of the hair was attended to. There was no shedding or tangling or anything. And, you know, it really didn't bother me. I really liked it because the texture of the hair is very, very soft. So I quite enjoyed doing that. And doing this will actually show you how full this hair actually is. As you guys can see. You can see how it looks once all the curls have been taken out. It's nice and full. And the bounce is there. The hair is really, really soft. I'm super impressed by the quality of this hair, and I really love the natural state of hair. This is how I would rock it on a normal day, just straight on my head, out the door. So yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do now is just show you guys what it looks like on my head. So this is what it looks like on, and I have actually just plopped it on my head, nothing extra. I'm just showing you guys how full it is, how the center part looks. You can obviously use heat at the center part if you wanted to make it flatter, but I'm showing you guys what it looks like with some water and conditioner spritz on one side. It kind of tames down the curls and it doesn't look as full. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the entire hair, and that's how I like to wear the hair. So you can see how it looks, you can see where the hair hits me. For 24 inches, it hits me right underneath the bust, which I'm not too mad at. It's curly, it's beautiful, it looks really, really slick. It gives me like Morticia vibes. But yeah, this is basically how I'd wear it, or I'd wear it in a ponytail and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment box below, and I'll catch you guys in a future one.